to the Spurs News Podcast, your home for all things Tottenham Hotspur. Now, here are your hosts.
Hello everybody and welcome to Spurs News on the day that Arsenal are champions. Also known as the day that football died. I am Sam, joining me to discuss all things Tottenham Hotspur. As always, it's my partner in crime, it's Stefan.
Mate, makes me feel sick.
Yeah, look,
yesterday, in terms of results that could have happened yesterday, for both of them to go so shits up, that was,
Yeah, so let's throw this out the way, and because it'd be wrong to ignore it completely. I'm going to say this, and then we're going to move on. The people who win the league deserve to win the league.
It's a 38-game season. If you have the most amount of points, you have the most amount of points, yes.
Yeah, 38-game season. There is a lot to be very critical of refereeing.
Most of it is the PGMOL.
Yeah.
Fuck, what a shit show that is.
But what I will say is, for the previous 3 years they finished second. They have stuck to it. They've spent money, like they have dropped serious money, and they've achieved their goal, which is to win the league. And the thing I think that broke me a bit last night was the realisation that the results last night meant that we lost, and our next game is to decide whether we get relegated or not. They won the title, and they have the Champions League final to come. There is a feeling of utter pain that I can't quite describe in amongst this.
I'm 35, almost 36. I've been following Tottenham since the age of 6, because that's when I was given my first kit.
Yeah.
Realistically, it was probably around the Martin Jol sort of era.
Yeah.
That was when I was kind of old enough to really understand and be fully into it and remember it.
Yeah.
I remember bits and pieces before that, but that was kind of like the main sort of time.
Yeah.
I've never witnessed us anything other than mid to top half of the table or challenging European positions. I know I've been alive for things like the Jurgen Klinsmann stuff like that saved us. But in my actual memory,
I understand.
We have always been mid to top half table challenging Europe sort of thing, We had the Harry Redknapp Champions League stuff with Crouchy up front and I remember all these things.
Yeah.
But I was sat there yesterday at full time and I'm just sat there silent, numb.
Yeah.
I'm I don't know how to process this because I've never been in a situation where, on Sunday, okay, it's not quite 50-50 because we're 2 points ahead of West Ham, but it's basically a 50-50 chance of us getting relegated or not.
I mean, that's quite a funny sentence when you think about it, what you just said.
Yeah, it can't be 50-50, but it's 50-50. But... yeah,
that's how it feels.
You know what I mean? There is a genuine
it
reality
feels
next
like
week.
A coin flip, yeah.
That West Ham get a result against Leeds.
Yeah.
And we don't get a result against Everton.
Yeah.
And we're in the Championship. Now, my brain genuinely doesn't know how to process this information because I've never had to before.
Yeah.
I've watched teams get relegated. I've watched Newcastle get relegated. I've seen West Ham get relegated a couple of times. I remember Crystal Palace with Andy Johnson up front get relegated. These teams that weren't meant to go down.
Yeah.
And I've watched them go down and I've gone, bloody hell, that must suck.
Yeah,
but
well...
never really thought about it And
Well,
even
we
this
were...
season, I've kind of had that stupid kind of naivety of, yeah, but it won't actually come down to that. And now it has, and I don't really know how to process it.
It's interesting you say that, because I've been talking about us potentially being relegated since Christmas.
Yeah.
And you at different times have been like, oh shit, you're right, this is bad, but we can happen. But is it a case of, even if you've said that in moments, you've actually not felt the reality of it?
Yeah, but I've always kind of had that, you know, like, okay, complete opposite side of the spectrum. You know, like, you do the lottery.
Yeah.
And your brain always goes, you're never going to win it. But you're going to be in it to have a chance, but you're never actually going to win it.
Yeah.
My brain's been working the same way, but in reverse. Like, we are in a relegation scrap, but it's never going to really happen. Like, we're never really going to get relegated because, you know, look at the squad we've got. We're Tottenham. God, look at the stadium and everything else. We're never going to really get... We're in a battle for relegation, but it's not going to actually happen. And now, all of a sudden, like, literally, that final whistle went last night, and that was the... Fuck, it's happened. Like, not it's going to happen. Fuck, it's happened.
Yeah.
Like, their first goal went in, I felt sick. Their second goal went in, I felt nothing but anger. Our goal went in, and I just kind of sat there like, oh, okay.
Okay,
Like,
well,
I didn't even get that kind of, here we go, here's the comeback, we're going to do it. I kind of just got this whole, 15 minutes to score a goal. I don't see it happening. Shit.
No, I mean, that's a pretty massive problem we have.
I don't think I've ever had this, like, a year ago, we were lifting a Europa League trophy.
Yeah.
And it was, like, probably the second or third best night I can think of. In, like, the top three, definitely, nights of being a Tottenham fan, like, in ways I've felt.
Yeah.
Definitely in the top three. Yeah. And then, like, a year later, I'm sat there not expecting us to be able to score a goal and realising that on Sunday we actually need the gods of football to kind of be having a semi-okay day.
Yeah.
And I'm like, where the fuck? What? my brain just like, nope, this doesn't compute. I don't know how to feel.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to confess something to the listeners, which may piss a few people off, but I didn't watch the Chelsea game, last night's game. Now, there's two reasons for this. One is, as negative as this sounds, and I apologise, I knew we'd lose. Like, I'd said to you, every ounce of evidence in my lifetime of going to Stamford Bridge is a defeat. You know, it is so rare we get anything there. Even when we were at our absolute best, we were getting a draw, maybe the odd win, but this is not like, I'm talking 30 odd years of me watching us there losing.
Yeah. Like, I remember this vague memory of Dele Alli getting two and Ericsson scoring a screamer.
Yeah.
And us winning there, and everyone being like, wow, that doesn't happen.
Well, no, it doesn't. Now,
I don't think that's happened since, is it?
Yeah, I mean, we were at our absolute best and we just about won. So, now, the other thing to this is, like, I got a friend who's I say a friend, someone I work with, who is a Chelsea season ticket holder. And he messaged me from the ground and said, this is without doubt the best atmosphere this stadium's seen all season.
Oh,
now,
God,
I knew,
like, listening to it on telly, the fans were loud.
Yeah, now I knew that that's what it would be, because the fans were there to see us get beat, like to put us, to hopefully relegate us. And there was nothing they wanted more. And the atmosphere, etc. Now, so I had a choice. I could either sit through that. Now, again, a little bit about me, which is slightly embarrassing. I take this and it impacts me. Like, I watch, I mean, in the time we've been doing Spurs news, you know this, I do practically every single game, which means I watch every minute of every single game. So that this season is bad. Like,
It's been torture. Yeah.
yeah, like I have suffered this season, just hopeless, awful football to watch. And I just had this, like my daughter's doing her A-levels at the moment, and she said to me about, oh, are you free on this night to do this? And I had that choice. Like I could say, oh, actually, you know, Tottenham are playing, etc. But I just went, no, do you know what? I need a night off. I know what this result's going to be. I could sit there and put myself through the torture of hope, or I could just go, look, I know what this is going to be. I know it's going to go to the last day. And then, so that's what I did. I didn't look at my phone. I didn't check anything for updates. I just spent the time with my daughter, and then later on that evening, checked my phone. The one thing from not watching it, which is quite interesting, is you then read back through, like, the messages in our group chat, for example. With 218 I returned to.
Oh, bloody hell.
And there were, like, people
I know what we were talking about. That would not have
Yeah.
been a good read.
No, but I read them, like, I read through it. And the funny, I mean, you know this because we were then having a conversation. I read through all those, still not knowing what the score was. Like, I had no idea how many. I just knew we'd lost, just because I knew that's what it would have been. And also the tone of the conversation in there, I imagine, would have been very different if we'd got a draw or somehow won.
Yeah.
So I think I said to you, like, at the very end, it's like, what was the score, by the way? It's like a 2-1. It's like, Jesus, like, if you just saw that scoreline, you wouldn't have... Like, from everything that was written in there, our group chat, every tweet from people I follow and stuff, I genuinely would have thought we lost 5-0.
Yeah, it could have been a cricket score the way we were in that
Yeah.
chat. Yeah.
Yeah, like it was just very interesting. Like, so if I'd just glanced at the score without reading any of it and seen 2-1, I'd gone, oh bloody hell, that was closer than I thought it was going to be. Like, I wouldn't have had that kind of thing. And what's interesting as well is I didn't see certain things, so I'm going to ask you about them if that's okay, because
Yep.
I don't want to dwell too much on it, because at the end of the day, things are shit and we need to look to the last game, and that's where our focus needs to be. But Jed Spence, the footballer, has posted, and will get in a lot of shit for this, a video clip of what seems to be a Chelsea player looking right at him, running at him, and cracking him in the face.
Yes.
And I'm told nothing was given for that. In fact, the commentary team said it was shoulder to shoulder. And Jed has posted that with the clip of the commentary with Law laughing emojis.
Yeah, no, it's Liam Delap and Spence. They're running through together.
Yeah.
Delap looks at him 2, maybe 3 times.
Oh, I've seen the
And
clip.
then,
He's
puts
looking
his
at him the
elbow
whole time.
across his jaw.
Yeah.
And a free kick was given, and that was it.
Right. So, I mean, again, didn't watch it live. I've just seen this clip purely in isolation. He's looking at him the entire time and does smack him in the mouth. So he didn't even get booked for that.
No.
Okay, so that's interesting. The next thing I saw was a penalty decision.
Oh, the ball not in... Oh, this was absolute bollocks. So, yeah, Cucurella, a.k.a. Sideshow Bob, a.k.a. one of the players I probably hate most in world football.
Yeah.
I just hate the bloke. Just everything about him annoys me.
Okay.
But he has arms wrapped around Van der Ven's waist and literally throws him into the goal.
Yeah.
And then rolls over him to get up. Referee blows and gives a yellow card.
Yeah.
And as you can imagine, all the fans and players are like, oh, it's a penalty.
Yeah.
And then he doesn't point to the spot. And you can see all the players' faces are looking at the ref like, you've just booked a guy for a foul in the penalty box.
Yeah.
Why has your arm not gone to the spot?
Right.
Referee's decision is that the ball wasn't in play when the foul started.
Yeah.
As Maddison, you can see in a clip, Maddison literally puts his fingers to his mouth as if he's doing a whistle.
Yeah.
Which I understand as he's basically saying, well, if you've blown the whistle, surely that means the match is in play.
Yeah.
Matthias Tell isn't going to start running up to kick the ball unless you have said the match is in play.
Yeah.
Therefore, whether the fact the ball has actually been kicked or not, surely the match is in play.
Yeah. So it's an interesting interpretation, let's call it that. So there's see, what I saw with this is there's a clip of it happening, and I'm just looking at it like, right, okay. So it appears the referee like blows his whistle, game on, so to speak. But because Tao has not delivered the ball or not struck the ball yet for the ball to be coming in, that is deemed under the rules, and a referee has written a thing on Twitter about this. The referee is right to reset the corner, book the player, but it's not a penalty, apparently. That's in the rules.
So next week against Everton, let's just say Van der Ven elbows Tarkowski in the face, or in the throat or the chest or wherever. He elbows him. The ball's not been kicked yet. Are we both willing to put a good amount of money on the fact the ref would give a penalty that day?
Mate, I'm not defending it. I'm just saying. I'm just saying that is the rule. So apparently that decision is correct.
Yeah, I've never seen.
I mean, it's a bizarre one because, like you said, like once the referee blows his whistle, you'd think that's the game is now in play, but apparently. So what again, and I find this kind of interesting, is in theory then, Cucurella could have completely lost his head, literally punched the Spurs player in the face. He'd have got a red card, but we wouldn't have got a penalty.
Yeah,
we'd have just got the corner again. It's down to 10 men. So, yeah. Look, I mean, I could go round and round on decisions. I said on the podcast recently, and I'm the funny thing is, I'm not a conspiracy theorist. Like, I'm not. So I like conspiracy theories. I enjoy them. I don't partake in them. I think that typically a conspiracy theory is because something is so crap or awful, you can't wrap your head around that it's crap and awful. It has to have been some sort of plan. Do you know what I mean? It's like, there's no way someone could do this on their own, so it must have been hundreds of people involved. With this, I had this thing of like, it feels to me like the Premier League is rigged. As in the Premier League, via the officials, rig matches to create excitement. And it just feels like when you look at some of the decisions that have gone against us, I mean, we've gone an entire season without getting awarded a penalty. Now, that on its own feels odd and suspicious. And then when you look at the last couple of games where you'd argue there's some pretty stone wall that have been given to other people and we've been denied them, it doesn't help that feeling of someone is trying to orchestrate this to take it to the last day for good TV.
No, and you say that. I had someone, same topic, same sort of thing. I saw someone tweet yesterday. The Man City Bournemouth game.
Yeah.
It was 1-1 and Man City had to win the game.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden there was like 7 minutes or something added on to the end of the game.
Yeah.
And this person on Twitter was like, I genuinely don't see how there could be more than like 3 minutes worth of added time here.
Yeah.
And then it got to the end of the extra time, and they still added a bit more onto it.
Yeah.
And it was like they're genuinely trying to help Man City get a goal here just to build up the revenue from end of season drama.
Yeah, I mean,
and I'm like, they're doing the exact same thing at the other end of the table.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting because you hear clubs talk about this a lot in different situations over time, and it's only when it kind of happens to you do you see it. I remember us trying to chase Leicester, and it was like everyone had decided Leicester were going to win the league because it was such an amazing story. Teams were like bending over for them and were going hell for leather against us, like we were some evil big money corporation chasing down the little guys, which was nonsensical. But the media narrative, the kind of everything was Leicester, Leicester, Leicester. And they just pushed and pushed and pushed until Leicester got it right. And I mean, I don't remember it. as like this, but someone did this whole thing of like you just said then about added time and stuff. Like Leicester won games that they were drawing with last minute winners something like 6 times in the season. I don't remember that, but that happened, and everyone's like, Fergie time, wasn't it?
Yeah.
back when it's a weird thing because when you scratch the surface of that, you could end up driving yourself crazy. But
Oh yeah, and it's like the narrative thing as well. Like they have built this up so much. It was Dan in our chat last night said about it.
yeah,
It's like nobody's talking about the fact that Manchester City are on were on for a domestic treble.
yeah,
All anyone was talking about was the fact that Arsenal could win the league
yeah,
and they're in the Champions League final. Completely ignoring the fact that up until last night, Man City could have done the treble.
yeah.
That was completely ignored. Everything has been focused on how are Arsenal going to win the title.
Yeah, yeah.
And
it's incredible.
At the other end of the table, all the narrative, it's not been about, how bad have West Ham been this season to be down in the relegation. It's been how awful are Tottenham.
I mean, that's fair.
It's fair, but at the same time, you look at it and you go, looking at West Ham's squad, should they necessarily be down there same as us? Maybe, maybe not. But there's not much talk about how bad West Ham have been. If anything, it's been, Nuno's gone in there and done really well for them. Well, he's not done that well. They're still in a relegation place. Tottenham, on the other hand, have had a bit of a bounce under the new manager, and it's just a case of, are you getting relegated? Are you getting relegated? And it's like that whole narrative almost is being driven that, well, Tottenham are getting relegated.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And it's like, no, it's still a 2-horse race, and at the moment we are still just about nose ahead.
I mean,
that result last night puts Tottenham in real trouble. Well, really, the result last night doesn't actually change anything because both the teams lost their last fixture. So nothing has actually changed since before the Newcastle-Chelsea game. It's just moved it down the line.
Yeah.
But the narrative is, Tottenham have blown their chance. That's it. They're in real trouble now. And it's like, no more so than a week ago. We're still fucked.
But that's clicks. That's headlines. That's just what the media is now. So the reality is this: it's the final day coming up this Sunday. We are 2 points above West Ham United, meaning that if we avoid defeat, so a draw because of our goal difference, a draw or a win secures us Premier League status. Okay, that's the reality. West Ham United are playing Leeds United at the London Stadium. We are hosting Everton at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. At the end of the games, one club with a 60,000 capacity stadium are going to be in the Championship next season, which is a crazy situation.
Yeah.
I said, as someone messaged in last night and I read it this morning to remind me of this. I said weeks ago that this was my nightmare scenario, that it goes to the last day, and it is true. It really is, because I have, when we didn't beat Leeds, I had a horrible sinking feeling. Everyone around me was like, there's still this game. We're still 2 points above them. And then when they lost to Newcastle, I was delighted because that, meant it was still going to be in our hands on the last day. I just had that sinking feeling of Leeds are going to be on the beach on the last day. They just are. Players who are going to the World Cup, if they have any, will just be checked out completely. Players who aren't are just going to be checked out. Like, I cannot stress.
If you're going to the World Cup, you are not throwing yourself into a 50-50 with any sort of risk.
You as Leeds United on the final day of the season have nothing to play for other than just showing up and having a crack and whatever. Now that sometimes can be liberating for teams and they can go attacking and go crazy. West Ham United know what they have to do. Nuno and that squad of players have had fights like this before. They know what they have to do on the final day. Their fans will be up for it. And I watched them in recent games, like I watched them play against Arsenal. If they play like that against Leeds, they are going to win. Like West Ham will win that game.
Yeah, my fear is I don't see West Ham not winning that match.
Yeah, I agree. So West Ham are going to win that game. So really, it's all on us. So if we park that to one side, that we have to win or draw against Everton. Now, Everton are managed by David Moyes. That team will not be on the beach for two very big reasons. One, Moyes is old school. He's also got a massive association with West Ham. He will make sure that team are fully focused on playing the best they possibly can.
Yeah, he's very much old school manager that you play 90 minutes, you play 38 games.
Yeah. And
he's not going to allow them to take the foot off the...
No. And as a few Everton fans online have reminded me, when they were in the shit, we were circling their players like fucking vultures. And we were talking about them being relegated, and then we could pick up Pickford on the cheap and things like that.
Oh, that's not going to leave a good taste.
No, they are therefore motivated. Fans and team alike are motivated to send us down. To them, it'd be they handed Arsenal the title and they can relegate Tottenham in the same season. They are probably going to be Arsenal's second favourite team forever for this.
Yeah.
There is no... It's now Arsenal are champions. The narrative and the story of us going down in the same year just seems all too wonderful to not happen, if that makes sense. So I am... About 6 weeks ago, I'd accepted we were down. I'd started working on, you know this, and I even mentioned it, I think. I'd started working on features for the podcast for the championship.
Yep.
I got my head around it. I was sad, but I got to this point of, you know what, the sun's still going to come up. I still have, like, no one's died. This, like, football hurts, but... And this is such a bizarre take, and I apologise to people that, like, maybe think I'm batshit for this. Winning the Europa League taught me that it actually doesn't mean fuck all. What I mean by that is it was an amazing night. The parade and everything that followed was incredible. But we're a year later and look where we are. What did winning that trophy actually do for our football club?
It proved to all the fans and probably to the players that the only thing they care about is league position, aka revenue.
Yeah, I mean,
because they sacked the manager who won it. In the same season, by sacking the manager that won it, we lost our best player and club captain who lifted the trophy. We also then got to January and sold the top goal scorer who scored the winning goal.
Yeah.
And didn't replace or help recruit any of the numerous players that had been injured, some of them since last season.
Yeah.
And it just kind of proved to everyone that we won a trophy in spite of, not because of the top of our club.
Yeah, Ange dug his heels in and paid for it with his job. But my point on this is, like, Arsenal have won the league. They could win the Champions League. They will have incredible nights out on this and everything like that for a couple of weeks. 3-4 weeks maybe. Then it's going to be the World Cup, and then the season starts again, and it's all done. Like, we won that. We had an amazing night. We had a lot of fun. We got to do the Warra Trophy joke for ages, and then that was it. It was done. Like, the season started again, and manager change and all. Do you know what I mean? It was like it was over. You had to start again.
Started with I can guarantee you we're gonna lose matches, and we all went, what the fuck?
Hey, don't change history. You liked him at that point.
I was not impressed with that conference. That news conference, that's for sure.
Yeah, look, so I don't know how to feel, really. I think where, like I said, weeks ago I'd accepted it and I was in quite a zen place. De Zerbi made an impact and it looked for a moment like we were going to save ourselves. I sadly now don't see anything other than us playing championship football next season, which sounds mad when it's where we've got the 2-point advantage. But the thing is I am confident West Ham will beat Leeds. I'm not confident we can even get a draw against Everton at home. And that is based on Everton being motivated on the last day and us and our inability to score and get any sort of result at our own stadium.
I think it's like, we've had 10 points all season at home?
Yeah, we've not won a game in 6 months at home.
No.
We were beating Brighton, they equalised. This has injury time winner to Everton, Aguero style moment to relegate us written all over it, doesn't it?
I'm just so glad that Jack Grealish is still injured and not able to play.
Oh yeah, he'd rip us a new asshole.
Because he would have scored the winning goal
face.
and probably assisted one earlier in the game as well.
Again, you look at him and what happened with him when Villa went down and how we treated him. Like the way our club did a deal, everything was signed. He said his goodbyes. He met with Pochettino. He literally was moving home, and then we tried to lowball the fucking offer again to try and screw them because they'd gone down. They got a new investor and told us to jog on, gave him a new deal. He's kind of hinted at the fact out of pure anger he signed that new deal and stayed. Like pure anger at how he'd been treated. That guy against us always raises his game. And it's got to be because of that. It's got to be because you're pissed off. Like, you don't treat people like that. And it's like, yeah, our club has made so many bad decisions. And it's all led to this. Like, Daniel Levy, Enoch, the Lewis family, all of them have made bad decision after bad decision. And it's just led to the situation we're in. So next week, we will have a podcast. That podcast will come out around the same time as it always does. And it is our end of season finale, if you like. The season finale of our show. It will be a discussion on... It's going to be one of two things. One, the utter abject failure of we've been relegated. Or two, utter relief. But what the fuck? Like, either way, the tone is not going to be one of joy. It's going to be one of utter, like, what the hell. We do have a season finale feature that we do every year, which is we look back over our predictions as an admin team.
This year it's going to be, how wrong did we get it?
That's going to be interesting. So we got that. We also normally do an admin kind of player of the year, young player of the year. So I'm going to put that together as well because that'd be an interesting conversation.
I have more nominations for players I never want to see in a Spurs shirt again over players who I think are player of the season.
Yeah, I mean, Kolomoani probably is the number one.
Oh, absolute stealing a wage. Yes.
I just can't...
I have seen nothing, absolutely nothing this season from that man that makes me think he is a professional footballer, let alone worth the sort of money.
Have you ever heard the money laundering theory about certain players?
Yes.
I'm wondering if he's one of those because there is a rumour out there that Juventus are ready to spend 65 million for him this summer.
Have they watched him this season?
Well, this is my point. Like this is my point. I don't like he's not worth £6.50. Like I don't understand where that figure is, but apparently there's talks between PSG and Juventus been going on for a few weeks. Well, I mean, we'll see. I mean, that could just be bollocks, but the guy might just have a very clever agent. So that's it. I mean, this. So this is the situation. We are 2 points above West Ham. Now, Matt, who used to be on this podcast, messaged me today and said, come on, try and be positive because whose shoes would you rather be in? And it's ours because it is in our hands. Like, we don't have to rely on Leeds. We it's purely in our own hands.
It's worse. We have to rely on Tottenham.
That's fair. And do you know what? That is almost fair to the point that I would feel more like if someone said to you, "Who do you think's more likely to win, Tottenham or Leeds?" I'd probably say Leeds right now, and that's me fully acknowledging that I don't think they'll win.
Yeah,
But I just feel like that they've got a better chance. I don't know what to say now. A few people messaged again after last week's show asking if I was okay. Yes and no. Like overall, yes. No, this Tottenham situation has impacted me. I'm not gonna lie. Like it is impacting my mental health, which isn't great. Anyone who's a fan of like this, who gives up so much of their time to dedicate to it, is really messed with me. Evening kickoffs sometimes, like with this season especially, when it's just such abject failure, I then don't sleep well, and so I thought not watching the game I'd be all right, and I ended up reading everything that people were saying, and then didn't sleep well again, which is like, why did I do that to myself?
yeah, not the best.
No, it was stupid. I guess my wish going into this final game is that it is clean. And what I mean by that is, if West Ham beat Leeds 2-3-0 and Everton beat us 2-3-0, I'm going to hurt like hell, but it's clean.
If
what I
West
mean
Ham
by
get
that
a last
is,
minute penalty and we get a last minute foul against us, and you're like, wait a minute.
yeah, exactly. I don't want there to be something in this refereeing thing that eats at me. Like it's been, again, someone else pointed this out, and I've got to be honest with you, now it's been pointed out to me, I do think, like, if you ignore the idea that the refereeing is corrupt and they're trying to figure it out, and you just take it back to, these are just people doing the best they can, but the best they can is shite. Like they're just bad at their jobs, right? There is human element to refereeing, right? So we've said this before about VAR.
Yeah.
A referee in the VAR studio doesn't want to overrule his mates. He doesn't want to make his mate look stupid on the pitch. It's a human nature thing of like, shit, next week I'll be on the pitch. I don't want to be overruled, therefore I'm not going to overrule. Do you know what I mean? It's like a really high bar to overrule, and it's like a human nature thing that I don't think anyone really took into account when they were developing this system. The other thing, which is a human nature thing, right? And this is true in the Premier League for a long time. Now I've thought about it, and that is, if you have a team that has complained about the refereeing of their matches, human nature says when you are refereeing their matches, you are going to likely be a bit different, because you know if you make a mistake against them, they will blow it up. It'll be all over social media. They'll make a complaint. You could lose your job. You know that this team that you are refereeing will go live after the game to put you on blast.
Yep.
Arsenal did that last season. I didn't like it then. I don't think clubs should do it. I know Nottingham Forest did it as well. But you look at how Arsenal are refereed this year. And all of a sudden you go...
Some of it.
Now, I remember the Man United team that was dominant, and everyone would talk about, like, Ferguson used to do it. Ferguson would put referees on absolute blast after a game. Ferguson's the whole reason they got this whole fine and penalty thing for talking shit about refs.
Because he used to do it so often.
It was like, it's basically called the Ferguson rule. Now, they used to get decisions all the time, and everyone used to sort of roll their eyes, like, fuck's sake. Like, this is like, it's ridiculous.
You go to Old Trafford, you're always against 13 players because you've got.
Yeah, it's the whole joke about to get a penalty at Old Trafford, Rio Ferdinand would literally have to stab someone, and even then they'd probably say the ball wasn't in play. So I then look at like this, and I think to myself, I hate it. I hate that Arsenal have done that, but it has clearly worked. Like, it's a human nature thing. Like, you would genuinely... It's a 50-50. Oh, fuck, I don't want to give it against Arsenal because, like, they'll kick off. Like, it'd be a fucking nightmare. Do you know what I mean? It's like, it is... These are snap, instinctive decisions brought about by that pressure. Now, we have had some horrendous decisions this season that then the very next game, the exact same thing will happen and the decision will be the opposite way. And we've had a few players point this out. We had a coach in Igor Tudor point it out.
Yep.
But at no point at the club at any time gone, right, we are right into the Premier League. Like, have done like a press, have done like a thing. Now, again, like I said, I don't like it, but if teams are doing that and are getting the rub of the green because of it, you can't not. Like, if you are a well-run club, I know, hilarious, you should look at that and go, shit, like, we should be putting them on blast then, because then you put that thing, like, we're going into this final game against Everton. The referee of that game knows that if he fucks up and relegates Tottenham, nothing's going to come of it. We aren't kicking off. We're just going to take it. The fans might give him some shit, but there's about 19 other clubs who are going to love it.
Yeah.
That's the reality. Got no fear. If Nottingham Forest were in this situation, which they were, or Arsenal were in a situation going for it, the referee would go into that knowing, fuck, if I make a mistake against his teams, I could lose my job because they will go for me. That's a problem, don't you think? That's an issue.
No, I agree. I do agree with that.
Anyway,
we have done nothing to kind of put any pressure on them at all.
The reality is our ownership and our leadership of the club have done nothing to help us at all. January, Johan Lang comes out, does his presser the first week of February about injured players returning. That's why we didn't need to sign anyone. It is... The words are going to go on in infamy of just the sheer stupidity of they kept Thomas Frank for an entire transfer window just to fire him a few weeks later after not adding to the squad. It was like that old thing, the old adage of doing, what's the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. And they had the same squad of players that were decimated with the same coach, and they were all sat there going,
that we really could have used.
Yeah, and then they just sat there going, go on then, go on, this week it'd be different. Oh no, it wouldn't. This game would be different. Oh no, wait, it wasn't. This game, oh, how long do you do that for? Like, my feelings on Thomas Frank are well known. I'm not doing this again. But if in January they'd gone, right, shit, Thomas, this ain't working, what do you need? Oh, I need an extra defensive midfielder, I need 10 more defenders, I can't, my formation of 11 defenders isn't working, I need more. Whatever. And they'd gone out and bought these players, then at least you'd have that feeling of, okay, they're backing a manager, not the manager I'd fucking back, but they're doing something. But they didn't. They just dangled him out there. In January, they replaced Brennan Johnson, an attacking wide player, with Conor Gallagher, box-to-box midfielder. Yeah, okay, Gallagher coming in makes some sort of sense, but, I mean, we didn't get anything like a Gallagher performance out of him until De Zerbi came in. Like, Thomas Frank didn't know how to manage him, so why did Thomas Frank want to buy him? The reality is he didn't. So he was brought in by the club as like, hey, look, everyone, it's Conor Gallagher. And Thomas Frank was obviously like, great, cheers. How does that work for me? Then you got Igor Tudor, who basically couldn't get anything out of anyone. And then you got De Zerbi's finally got him looking like the player he was. But it's still madness. Like, it's still insanity that January happened. You had this opportunity to do something to save the club. And they did fuck all. Like sold one player, signed one player, brought in a young player who just looks fucking lost. Like, must be thinking, why have I left Brazil for this?
Yeah, I've so far played one game in my actual position of left back, and I've played 2 games as a right winger.
And looked good, by the way.
Yeah.
He's Brazilian.
It makes no sense at all.
Yeah. I despair. You asked a question about off air about loan players
Yes.
returning and can they play. It would appear not. It would appear, even though they've returned to the club because they were season-long loans, they're not permitted under Premier League rules, regardless of age, to then be involved in a match day squad. So,
Which
for
I was
example,
really, I was kind of like, there was that bit of me that was like, oh, wait a minute. Players like Mikey Moore and stuff, now where they're under 21s, they haven't got registered in the actual match day squad. Therefore, can we just have them back now, please? Because I really want Mikey Moore on the right wing over Wally.
Yeah, like I can't even. There are some really good academy players that are wide players.
Yeah,
and I got to think to myself that they would offer more, than anything that he's offered at all. But again, and this comes down to this kind of injury issue, which is, I genuinely believe Mohamed Kudus would have done more, without a doubt, on the right wing, but we lost him for the season.
Yeah.
It's such a mess. All of it's such a mess. But so let's recap this. This is the reality going into the final game of the season. We are 2 points above West Ham, therefore it is in our hands. We win the game, we are safe. We draw the game, unless there is some insane scoreline with the goal difference shift, and it would be insane. Like, it's not going to happen. Level of insanity. I mean, Leeds United would need to, all of them, have lasagna the night before, be literally shitting themselves on the pitch, or unabashedly scoring own goals for fun.
If Leeds scores 6 own goals in one game, I think then he starts getting looked at.
I'd like to think that maybe someone would look at that, yes. But this is the reality. So a win or a draw, we are Premier League for another season. A defeat, and it's all down to what West Ham do. So if we lose, but West Ham lose, we're safe. If we lose, but West Ham draw, we're safe. If we lose and West Ham win, we are relegated.
Oh, yeah.
How you doing, mate?
Yeah, I don't know how to process it.
No matter what happens, we will be back next week, and no matter what happens, we will be back next season, regardless of what division we're in. I am self-admittedly not in a great place, but I will say to everybody, because I know that I'll sort myself out, if that makes sense. I'll be like, oh, fuck it, alright, we're in the Championship, let's go. You know, that's me, that's just how I'll be. But I will say that I know there are season ticket holder people who live their life through the club and things like that. I know we have a lot of people listen to this show who interact with Spurs news across the pages, who work for the club in different roles and capacities. All of their jobs are on the line this weekend, and it's something people don't talk about enough.
Yeah.
But when a team is relegated, the cost cutting, the players often have things in their contracts about their wages dropping, but they leave generally, so their life isn't that disrupted.
All of a sudden, when your social media team is being halved, your cafeteria team being halved, hotel
you say
staff
halved,
being
mate.
halved,
Decimated.
Yeah.
Like the staff, the ground staff, the staff in every single department of the club are on notice. If relegation's confirmed this weekend, that's probably I'm going to say hundreds of jobs lost. That's people who
even
go to
your
work every
match day
day.
staff. Like, if you've gone from you're playing a big Premier League game to, let's say, Lincoln City at home.
Yeah.
You're not going to need the same levels of staff.
No. It is a very, very real thing that people who are just living their lives. These are people like me and you. These are people that are just working jobs, paying their mortgage, paying their rent, trying to live, raise their kids, trying to get by, and they work at the club. They probably, I guess, not all of them are probably Tottenham fans even, but they are massively associated with it. But those who are, this is real for them. Like I said, I'm going to be hurting, I'm going to be upset, it's going to impact me, but I'm not going to lose my job when Tottenham get relegated. No one's going to have died when Tottenham get relegated from me. I know I'll rally, but these are people who are going to lose their jobs. These are people who are going to feel this in ways that I can't even begin to imagine. And it is, if these players cannot find motivation in that, cannot find it in them to play one game like a... I mean, De Zerbi said it last night. Bilbao is not the final for this club anymore. This is it. This is because it's beyond trophies, it's beyond winning titles. This is about the football club, its future, its present. It's about pride, it's about everything. I mean, he's absolutely right. This is, without a shadow of a doubt, the biggest game for this club in a generation. Yeah. Because it is so monumental, this is a final, and we all know Tottenham's record in finals, so,
Do you reckon Ange can come back and just do a team talk?
I don't know.
Can we just get Ange in the dressing room? Just do the team talk before the players go out there.
I genuinely mean this, I said this with Nottingham Forest and we lost 3-0, right? If you could look around as a football player, all those fans, the effort that was put in to support the team that day and offer that lackluster bullshit, my fear is, once again, like, De Zerbi has got them at least making an effort. Like, we lost 2-1 to Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. That is not a horrific result, by the way. That is not, like, for us, like, that is not... Would you just look at the result? Like, that is not...
And
like,
there were some performances in there, like Mickey van der Ven, for example. He put in some of the crunching tackles that we would have seen him doing last season.
Yeah, I mean, he has definitely lifted his performances
Porro as well.
De Zerbi.
Porro put in another performance last night where he made some crunching tackles, interceptions and stuff. You're like, yeah, he is pumped.
This is the thing. They need to... This game is it. Like the Van der Ven, when he did that clearance off the line in the final in Bilbao, and he was just like, there was no way we were losing or conceding in that game. That needs to be it. The mentality needs to be, we win this game. Like, we will die on the pitch. We will win this game. My fear is we don't have that. Like, this season, the confidence, like, the stadium is incredible and the noise in it's incredible. But the problem with it being this kind of, the way they've designed it is, and I've joked about this, but it is true, you can also hear the collective, oh, for fuck's sake, so well, like, so clearly. Yes. Like, the atmosphere and everything like that, and you're just watching on TV, but then you see someone and you know that sort of groan, that, oh, it's like 50-odd thousand people in a sound echo chamber. And it translates onto the pitch. Like, Everton get a goal.
Moani gets the ball on the right hand side.
Everton get a goal, and that stadium will go silent, other than the Everton fans.
Yeah, it's one of those, like, the dream scenario is that in the first 5 minutes of the matches on Sunday, Leeds get an early goal, and West Ham heads go, fuck. Tottenham get an early goal, and the fans really get behind them and buoy them. Like, that is like the dream scenario.
Yeah, no, not early. I don't know. I'm such a pessimist. Like, that happens and I'll immediately think we're fucked. West Ham will come back and we're going to cave. Like I just no, there's no scenario in this which is good in my brain. Like we could be 3-0 up in that game and I'd still be shitting myself. Do you know what I mean? Like there's no, until the final whistle blows and we've done it, I will not feel any sort of relief. But yeah, no, I don't want to think about it. That's Sunday. But like I said,
think about it at all. Even on Sunday, I don't think I'm going to want to think about it.
No, but we will be back next week. The show will be our season finale. We'll obviously talk then about the result, what's happened, where we go next, for everything. But that's next week. Yeah, it all comes down to this, my friend. One game. How you feeling?
I'm numb. Just
that's
numb, I think.
Okay. Well, look, until next week, everybody take care. I got nothing. I live in hope and die in despair as a Tottenham fan. But this one game, it's a one-off game. We have to win or draw. We have to not lose. It's a one-off game at home. We must not lose. That's the end of it. Until next week, everybody take care, and hopefully we'll be talking in terms of relief and looking forward next week. Goodbye, everybody.
Come on, you Spurs.
Thank you for listening to the Spurs News Podcast. We hope that you enjoyed the show. Stay up to date with all things Tottenham. Follow us on social media. All links are in the podcast description.